In this demonstration, we're going to go over a new module of UCView called Microsite. So the microsite is basically a bundle of web page with assets, or in the web page or web pages with all the assets like CSS, JavaScript combined within to a zip file. So you take basically when you're using any kind of design software, Google Web Designer or Adobe Edge and other designing software that design in HTML format, when you create the design and you export it, when you're done, the design software is going to give you basically a zip file or a folder, and inside the folder all the HTML5, JavaScript, images, and all the assets to create the template. UCView will support any of those designs by just taking this folder, zip it, and drag and drop it into the UCView system. So we're going to go over a couple of options and example. But the power of the microsite is the ability to go into the code after you design the template with any other software and modify the assets like images and text. So if you create an asset like a template with announcement and images and animation, we can change the content, images, and the text within the template without going back into the design software. So you don't need a designer or a programmer to modify. You can basically using the microsite module to log in and modify the asset within the content. So let's go and see some example of microsite that I uploaded, and we're going to upload some new ones. So we have, for example, a microsite which done with Google Web Designer, which is a kiosk information. As you see here, you have the button on the left and some animation, so you can have rotating background images in the background here. And you have the button on the bottom when you can actually fully interactive. It's fully interactive and have some JavaScript to pull, for example, content from remote RSS or remote calendar system, as you see here and here. It has built-in maps, so you can actually include iframe, external links, and you can upload all those assets into the UCView system, and now you can modify the content. Another one is that we can look at is a template we provide for free is, for example, this one. When you drag and drop information, you display information, slogans, it's actually, we're going to modify this one very shortly. And then it's another one here. It's a board of director where it's, again, interactive content. Of course, this is that 19 by 20 by 1080 screen, and it's fully interactive when you can click on content and modify it on the fly. So this is example of a microsite. So within the microsite, you get an ability to upload microsite. For example, if we delete this information here, we can go and analyze a microsite. So this is example of, I went to my designer, and the designer gave me a folder, and inside the folder, this business folder, I have assets, basically images, some CSS, JavaScript, etc. So if I open it, you see it's a web page that displays information on the screen. So for example, I would take that and close it after the designer gave it to me, and I will take this folder and I will zip it. So here it is, and I will use any kind of zipping program, and now I have this zip file, as you see here. So here we can take that zip file and create a new microsite. So let's put it here, and we'll create a new microsite, call it business. 1920 by 1080, And now I drag and drop the file here, the zip file. So the way it is, I just take the zip file and I'm drag and dropping it to the page. When I finish uploading, I can press save. The system is going to extract the zip file and actually give you a preview, a full preview of what's going on within the zip file and execute. And I can execute multiple HTML file if it has more than one within the zip file. So after we upload the content, the template into the microsite, and we can preview the content here, the UCView module allows you to modify and update the asset of the template without the need to go and change the code. So we have 3 buttons here. The first button to analyze the content, the second button to organize the field you found and you want to modify, and the data entry part. So to analyze this template, we're going to click on Setup. The system is going to go into the content, the zip file you upload, and parse it and actually check all the asset he finds. So you see here that you have quotes and you see background images. So you can actually see which one is it for each one we related to. So the reason it's listing it, because it gives you ability to decide which one of them you want to modify. So in here, I'm going to select, of course, it's pretty self-explanatory, so I want to be able to select all the 4 templates. And the images. So to be able to, in here you can basically decide which one, the security, which one you can modify. And when you update it, you can see that it actually lists all the stuff you update, and you can go to the next stage, which is rearranging them. So it's gonna show you all the field you just created, the quote, background, images, and you see here you can rearrange the order of them. So you can basically go and rearrange each field to make it very easy to the user to understand the form for the data entry. You see here that the form, each field has this unique name. So you can actually go back, if I save it and go back, I can change the heading. So here, whatever you type in this field, it's actually going to define. So if I do, I can call it first, oops, I can call it first quote, and click here, first. First image. So if I update here, this, it will modify it in the form and of course in the data entry. So at this point we can leave the user to update the content. So the user will not have access to the modification. He can come in and he click on the template and he can start typing his content. So I change business monthly plan 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to upload a new image. So I can go in and I can select any image I want. So for example, I'm going to upload this picture. Press update, and right away we'll see that the first image is changed and the text within it actually. So this way we can change the first quote, the second quote, or any kind of manipulation of content the template has. So in here you can change content, change text, change images, and have the ability for the user, block him from changing any asset you don't want him to change by removing it from the fields list here. One more thing to notice is while you updating content on the screen, when you press update, it's actually give you a preview of the content you modify, as you see here. But it's not published yet. So this allows the user to preview the content, go over it, and then approve it. To approve the content and send it to the screen, you will need to apply pending update, which will take this content moderation stage and push it to production, and only then the screen is going to receive it within seconds. Thank you.